I'm live. I'm live. I'm actually live. I'm actually doing it. So what I'm doing is I'm just literally going to share this. I thought I'd just very quickly just dive on and do a very quick live stream just to show some stuff off because I'm in the mood to do it. So let me just advertise this. I'm live now. If you're up for a bit of a chat for half an hour. There we go. Now I'm live now. If you're up for a bit, I can't even spell. That's ridiculous. Boom. And I'll just copy all of that. Boom. I'll post that. And then I'll post it again there. What I should be doing really is letting people know that I'm going to go live at some point. Let me just make sure I don't look too stupid. I'm going to come out of that. There we go. And oh my lord, the quality is terrible, isn't it? I really do. I swear to God, my camera sometimes is a little bit sucky. So I'm just posting this to my different accounts because right now it's just me. I'm on my own, but that's fine because what I'll do is I will run the video for half an hour and it'll just be there for people to look at their leisure. I'll just explain to you what I was going to do. I'm just going to randomly go around my desk here. I'm going to pick out a few nerd stuff, nerd stuff. I'm going to pick out a few nerd things that I've got just lying around, and just to show them off, mainly to say, "Hey, I'm a nerd. Check out my collection." It's not really a collection. You see, the way that my mind works is a little bit chaotic because I've got a touch of sort of ADHD and anxiety. So when I keep things in order, then things aren't really in order. So I'm never too happy about that. So let's do this. And there we go. We're done. I think that's right. See, I haven't even bothered to set my camera up properly. I should have set my camera up properly and all sorts. There we go. That's better. So I haven't even got any light. You can see my screen and my glasses. This is so unprofessional. So I literally just go around my desk and just pick a few things up. I'm going to start with, because my favourite thing is actually Alien, I bought this. That's right. As an Alien fan, how could I not have this? Now, I know that the tail feathers are the wrong colour and what have you, but it actually works. I want to buy another one. But this has got like a prime position. Let me turn my fan off, actually. That's probably going to be a bit annoyed. This has got like a prime place on my desk. Absolutely love that. Because I like to pick up little quirky things and stuff that reminds me of certain stuff. So I don't usually go for the main stuff. It's like I've got a tiny communicator from Star Trek. You get in those little boxes and what have you. It's even got the noise. Brilliant. And I've got my phaser as well. But for some strange reason, it's just the type. For some strange reason, the little dial thing doesn't work properly, and which is really annoying because it's actually really, really cool. This, which I'm actually calling a tribble, is actually just the bobble off a fur hat, but I quite like it. Oh, what else have we got up here? Of course, can't go wrong without the BBC dramatisation of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, all in one easy-to-use slipcase. This is probably my favourite dramatisation of The Lord of the Rings. It was broadcast in 1980, I think it was. But this is what got me into The Lord of the Rings. This is what got me into Middle-earth and Tolkien in general, because when it aired on BBC Radio 2, my teacher in my class would record it, bring in the cassette the next day and play it for us all in class. We didn't actually complete the whole thing, but this, when I first heard this in about 81, I was about 10 years old, and I was absolutely addicted to it. And when it was replayed, I'd want to listen to it again, and then I ended up buying the books. And then I originally had these on cassette. I had this massive box cassette set, and then this was bought to me for Christmas as a CD collector set. So if you get a chance to listen to this, yes, the Peter Jackson movies are fantastic. The Ralph Bakshi cartoon is entertaining. But this, for me, as far as dramatisations are concerned, for me is definitive. And I might be mistaken, but I think Brian Sibley helped with this, who then went on to help with and spoke a lot about the Lord of the Rings movies when they came out. So yeah, this is really, really good. And then I've got this, of course, because I'm a massive 2000 AD fan. So of course, one of the first things I went out and got was a Dread badge, and I picked that up. And I've also got, if I can just get it, this is completely unprepared. Road Trooper. I'm a massive Road Trooper fan. So I got all the chips. So my wife got me all the chips of his GI buddies, Helm, Bagman, and Gunner. So massive. Well, out of 2000 AD, I think my favourites are Strontium Dog, because Strontium Dog's just one of my favourite things in the entire world. Judge Dredd, because I love the satire. I love the fact that the story isn't so much about Dredd; it's more about the world that he lives in, and he's just the straight guy. And then Rogue Trooper, because Rogue Trooper just kicked ass. I wasn't overly fond of the Avenging Angel storyline, even though the artwork, I think it was Steve Dillon at the time. Yeah, I mean, it's Road Trooper. Apparently, Duncan Jones. I keep going to put these back, and they keep coming back up again. Apparently, Duncan Jones, director of Moon and Warcraft, is doing a Road Trooper animated movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I want to see how he does that. I think he's using Unreal Engine 5. I might be wholly mistaken, because I'm a massive fan of Moon. I've got the poster up on my wall. Well, the Lunar Industries poster. I think Moon was probably my favourite science fiction film, one of my favourite science fiction films for the last 20 years. And it was the kind of science fiction that I've been waiting for. So, yeah, most science fiction movies are event movies, whereas Moon was a little bit more introspective, a little bit more thoughtful. And practical effects, man. Model effects, absolutely amazing. And there's on YouTube, if you type in, I think it's Pierce Film Productions. It's a documentary called Sense of Scale, and they interview lots of different people who do lots of stuff in that sort of world. And they've spoken to the guys who did the model work on Moon, and how they use cat litter for the moon surface and all sorts. It's fascinating. Model making, movie model making. And I know it's probably easier to do these days and do it all in CGI and then scan it, etc. But model making, to me, back in the day, and even now in some respects, is an art form. It was an art form, the way that they could kit bash all these models and all these places and starships and all sorts. I think Outland as well was another one of my favourites. I mean, that shuttle, you don't see it in its entirety in the film, but that shuttle and the entire IO base, the Conam base, is just stunning. It's absolutely, but it is. It's art. It's people at the top of their game building models. And then the way that they're photographed, and then the way they're put on the screen. Again, you'll see all that if you go to this Piece Film Productions, this Sense of Scale documentary on YouTube. Absolutely brilliant. Really, 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 really good. What else do I have? I have a Lord of the Rings helmet, which was custom made for me. My wife had custom made for me. I'm going to try and put it on, actually. I've not worn this. It needs a clean, and it doesn't quite fit because it's more for display. But sometimes I do like to play with it, and it's basically a custom made helmet. This is probably going to hurt, actually, because it doesn't go over my ears properly. Oh, God, it's actually hurting now. So there you have it. And that is so uncomfortable. It's even got a thing so you can tie it under, but I've never got it to fit. I know you probably can't hear what I'm saying. All I can hear is my own words echoing back at me. So let me just try and put my glasses back on. So this is what would have happened if Isildur was short-sighted. So there we go. Oh, so, yeah, brilliant. Ow, blimey, that hurt. So now this is the part now which everybody tunes in for, because this is now going to rip my ears off. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Oh, I'm not doing that again. Oh, God, it's so dusty. Oh, mate, she needs such a clean. I should have taken better care of her. It's got its own stand and all sorts. That's one of my favourite things. I'm trying to get hold of a helmet, a spacesuit helmet from Alien, because I want that. I'm not really fussed about the size. Full size would be fantastic, of course. Yeah, that's one of the best parts of my collection, my nerd collection. Actually, really, really chuffed with that. I'm talking about Lord of the Rings. I'll just take this off. Because when they made the helmet for me, and I will try and find the details of who made the helmet and put it in the description below. When they made the helmet for me, it was supposed to have come with a stand, but they hadn't actually made a proper stand for it. You had to custom build a stand. And it took about a month and a half by the time the stand came to me. And he was so apologetic, gave me a Sting letter opener as well. So which is really, really cool. So I'm happy with that. Hi, if you just joined, I'm literally just going through my nerd collection, what's lying around me. So basically just showing off, and I've just broken the stand for my. I'll put that back in a second. I'm doing that again. I've just broken the stand for that. Brilliant. Well done. As a massive fan of the movie The Black Hole, I used to collect. Again, I'm disappearing out of shot. I used to collect Funko Pops. I don't anymore because it's just so many. And to be honest with you, I prefer models like this now. So I'm picking up sort of. This is from the Eagle Moss collection. This is Dallas and compression suit. So I'm trying to pick up more models like that. So I'm basically trying to get the whole crew together, the whole Nostromo crew. So here's my first. I've got Lambert and Brett on the way, which is quite cool. But yeah, when I was getting photo pops, and that's my favourite, it is Maximilian from the Black Hole. I think it's fantastic. But I've also found some proper models of Vincent and Bob. So I want to get hold of those as well and try and get those over here. I'm a big fan of The Black Hole. I'm not ashamed to say. It is one of my favourite films. It's one of those films that I grew up with as a kid because I was introduced to Star Wars in about 78 and was obsessed by it. And of course, then because I was obsessed with Star Wars, I was looking for anything that was even remotely Star Warsy. So I kind of like Battlestar Galactica at the time. I wasn't well into it. I much prefer the reboot from the early 2000s. The one of more reboots. It's just, I think when you're talking about genocide, you want to be a lot less camp about it. So, but I did. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the original. I was a kid, and of course, I love those sort of things. But The Black Hole, and the first time I saw that was on television. I think it was 82, 83. And I remember it was on a Sunday afternoon, and we didn't have back then, of course. Oh, back in my day, I had to walk 20 miles to take a pee. No, but because back then we didn't have VHS. It's early 80s, so we didn't have video recorder. But I used to have this old Philips tape recorder, so I used to pick up C90 cassettes. And if something came on TV that I absolutely loved, I just record it. And Black Hole was one of them. And I remember hanging on to that cassette recording for a long time. I also recorded The Wrath of Khan as well. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which is my favourite Star Trek film. And talking about that, I've got my Enterprise, so I'm going to have to stand up now. Actually, no, I'm not going to stand up because I'm only wearing shorts because it's quite warm in here. I'm not going to embarrass myself. But up there, I've got Palatine Model Enterprise. I'm not getting it down. This came from my wife because I'm a bit of a Godzilla fan as well. I've not yet seen -1, which I should be ashamed about. I recently picked up the British Film Institute's Godzilla on DVD with the documentary and all sorts on this. That is well worth getting. It is really, really good. There's loads of background information and all sorts. Absolutely brilliant. Even Oliver, how you doing? And then, of course, she got me the plushie. I do have a model Godzilla downstairs, sort of fridge magnet, but it's on the fridge. So I ain't going down to get that because that will, again, need me to stand up before view of everybody. One thing I do love, which I've always loved, is the reaction figures that have come from, Reaction, and from Funko and Super 7. And I've got a collection of them up here. I'm missing one from this group. From this collection, and I think these are absolutely fantastic because these are basically what I remember from my childhood, and I just think they're really, really neat models. They're just really, really well done. I mean, I buy these purely for nostalgic reasons. There's no other reason. There's no way I'd use this as a stand, as a standing model. I do have the big chap here, again another Eagle Moss model, which is absolutely brilliant. They are very cool. Unfortunately, these are really fine, and the lines down the back, if you rub them, I'm doing it now because I've already done it. Unfortunately, they snap off, and I found that much to my chagrin. So, I think it's an excellent model. It's really, really, really well done. But I like picking up these little box models as well. So I managed to pick up an alien bust, which I'm really, really chuffed with. Now, what you're supposed to do, see the tongue come out. It's brilliant. It's also supposed to screech. But sadly, the batteries have died, so I need to get a fresh battery for that. So that's really, really cool. And then because I used to buy alien figures no matter what, no matter where it came from, I bought a Ripley from Alien Resurrection for some reason. I'm not a fan of Alien Resurrection, sadly. See, for me, the Alien movies peaked with Aliens. Let's be honest. No, actually, no, that's a lie. The Alien franchise, I think, peaked with Alien Isolation. I love Aliens. As you know, it's my favourite film of all time. And I'm a massive fan of Aliens because I saw it at the cinema for the first time when I was 15. Absolutely brilliant. I didn't like Alien 3 when I first saw it because I felt like I've just been through all that in Aliens, and then they've gone, "Oh, did you like Aliens? Did you like that? Did you like that? Well, fuck you." Unfortunately, the two of the main characters that you really liked, they're going to die off screen. Thanks. Oh, spoiler. So thanks very much. And that really annoyed me. But then when you release the assembly cuts, which you got on the Alien quadrilogy box set, which I've got down here, which I've had to buy for the third time because I keep scratching discs to play it so much. I actually appreciated the film a lot more because it fleshed out the characters a lot more. It's told a better story. They inserted all these missing scenes. Yeah, and it was. I enjoy it a lot more now. I appreciate it for what it is now a lot more than I did at the time. So, but the only thing remaining that I've got left out of those kits, which I kept, was an Alien Queen, and I've no idea what they designed that on because yeah, and an egg with the face of go about to come out of it. So I'm really chuffed about getting hold of those. I've just held on to those, I think, for sentimental reasons. Oh, and of course, you're not an Alien fan without a pack of Alien playing cards. So I've got those as well. One thing I did find, looking at Dallas again in his pressure shoots, somebody was selling online these little knockoff figures. So it was only a £5, and I thought, well, I'll just grab it. And it's actually quite cool. I actually quite like it. The detail's not there, not like the Eagle Moss figure. Oh God, that almost came off then. Not like the Eagle Moss figure. But I used to collect loads of figures. They used to be all over the place. I used to collect Lord of the Rings figures, especially when the films came out, because they were really, really good figures. And like a knob, I unboxed them because I'm a knob. But I used to have them all around my flat where I used to live, on the shelves and all sorts. Really, and it was cool. And they were really, really good. And I kept all the packaging and all sorts. But then when it was time to move, I sold most of them. The one that I did keep was the big Sauron with the voice. Build me an army worthy of more. That really hurt. So, yeah, so that's a really, really cool one. So I kept him. And sadly, I parted with my Treebeard. The Treebeard was fully voiced. And I parted with my Ring Wraith as well on the horse. And that was really cool because you press the button on the back and the legs would kick and the eyes would glow red and it'd do the screech sound. And they were boxed. So I do regret parting with those. It was a bit of a silly thing to do, but well, you know, I needed the cash. Recently, as I've probably said a few times, I've been to Japan. I went to Tokyo about a month ago now, and if you've not been, I can't recommend it highly enough. It was probably that holiday of a lifetime for me. Such an amazing place, amazing city, amazing people, and an amazing culture. It was absolutely amazing. It was amazing. But what I came back with is a massive bag of Gundam. So, I've got to. I mean, this is the one I bought in the UK. That's my starter kit. But then when we went to the Gundam, we saw the bigger 18-meter high robot, which is now sadly about to close down, and they're going to disassemble it, which is the same. But I got to see it. We got tickets to stand right next to it, and got video footage. So whilst I was there, I thought, I'll buy a few bits of Gundam. Yeah, I bought quite a lot of Gundam. So I've got a lot to build in there. But my favourite one, which I found, was this one, still sealed. And it's Shard's Red Comet, I think it's called. Only for 1,000 yen, which is about £5. And I can't wait to build that. That's going to go so well with my little RX. Oh, popcorn bucket. So yeah, we've got about 6 kits in here, and some Gashapon pods as well, which need assembling. So that's going to take a little bit of work, I think. So what we've done is we've all got some kits each. There's me, Lisa, and Bruce. My wife, Lisa, and my son, Bruce. So we picked up like a couple of 3 kits. We're going to have a Gundam. We're going to have Gundam sessions. So we're basically going to have the cartoon playing in the background, have the anime playing in the background for the very first one from '79, was it? And we're going to play those whilst we build our Gundam. Oh, and whilst I was in Japan, I did find a role-playing shop called Yellow Submarine, and all I got from it was this: it's origami floor plans. Now that's absolutely fascinating, and I'm actually looking forward to breaking that open and using my Google Translate to know what the instructions say. But New Games Order LLC. I got these from Yellow Submarine in, was it Shinjuku? I think it was Shinjuku. But yeah, really, really good. It looks really, really good. What else have we got? I've got my wife. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, I will. My wife got me this. It's a card, and it's basically because our cat's called Jones, so she got in space. If it fits, it sits. Ridiculous. I've also got down here somewhere. Is it up there? And what it is, when the film Alien came out, they released this 7-inch single. I'm going to put that there again. They released this 7-inch single by Nostromo, and it was basically like a disco version of the Alien theme, which sounds weird, but that's exactly what it was. And it used the space jockey as the front cover. It's actually quite a haunting cover. It was all very black and white. I wish I had it here, actually. I'll have to dig that out. But that's, yeah, really, it was that's really, really cool. Oh God, there it is. Hold on. That's just fallen over, and there it is. So let me just get this out, and it's still in good condition. So yeah, so there it is. It's the single, and basically, it's just the music from Alien, but given a bit of a beat. So it's like, but remember Star Wars Disco? Star Wars Disco was awesome. One of the prides of my collection, which is down here, is I like to pick up old adverts, and because I'm a massive Dragon Slayer fan, I've actually got the Dragon Slayer comics. If I can get these, I'll tell you what, I'm making an absolute mess here just to entertain people. So I managed to pick up the 2 Dragon Slayer comics. So I'm a big Dragon Slayer fan. I'd love to see a role-playing game set in this world, because I've got the board game up there as well. Again, I'm not going to stand up because I've only got shorts on. I've got the board game, or the Dragon Slayer board game up there as well, from 1981. I think that came out. Really, really good. And then I found, completely random in a comic shop, a copy of 2000 AD, because I've got like 18 years worth of 2000 AD locked away in my garage. But yeah, full details of Dragon Slayer. Oh God, pointed it with the wrong finger. Yeah, full details of Dragon Slayer in there. So that was quite handy. So that's gone straight into the collection. And in here, I keep all my magazines about Alien and aliens. So I picked up, they've got the Dark Side, Starlog. What else have we got? City Fantastique. In fact, let's get these out. Actually, no, that's not, because a lot of them are sealed. Fangoria, that's got some details in there about Alien as well. I recently got hold of, and do I get them down? No, I don't. I recently got hold of the movie posters, the 2 movie posters that they released for Alien. They're printed in 1979. Usually they're quite expensive. I was so lucky to find them. I really, really was, which was really, really cool. So what else have we got? Robin of Sherwood. I've got all my usual stuff down here. Robin of Sherwood DVDs. I've got the collector's box of The Thing. Loads and loads of Aliens. Loads of Lord of the Rings, of course. I did get this, and this is going to be, you have to bear with me. I'm a massive Blade Runner fan. God, I'm a massive fan of a lot of things, aren't I? No wonder I've never got any money. I'm a big fan. I've got bags and bags of dice on here for some reason. I've no idea. I'm running Traveller Games on Sunday afternoons, and I'm just dumping my dice everywhere. And now my books are falling over. Well done, John. Oh God, I found this the other day. It's from 1974. Is it? Yeah, 1974. But it's a Tolkien calendar. How cool is that? Dead cheap. And basically, it's got loads of Tolkien's. You can't see on this camera, unfortunately. Got loads of Tolkien's artwork. He was a fantastic artist. I'm sorry, but a lot of the stuff that he's done here, if you want a direct reference as to what these things looked like, there we go. Tolkien drew himself. And that's something that annoyed me. Here we go. Even me having a moan now. That's something that annoyed me a little bit about the Hobbit movies, was that you have got references as to what Smaug looks like, and yet he didn't look like that. And I don't understand why he didn't have 4 legs. It's probably a small thing. He looked more like a wyvern than he did a dragon. And it's probably a small thing. It doesn't actually mean anything. But I don't know, little details like that, especially when you've been reading it and you've been a fan for so long. Yeah, they jump out at you. They really, really do. I wasn't a fan of the Hobbit films anyway. That should have been one film. I have seen an edit of it where they've basically got rid of all the guff and all the extra stuff which just didn't need to be there, and then focused on the actual, what the film's called, not The Hobbit. So they actually, focused a bit more on Bilbo. And there is a fantastic film in there. They cut out all that guff with the Battle of the Five Armies, which didn't need its own film. Loads of stuff that was happening in the Elven Kingdoms. All the stuff that was happening with Gandalf and Elrond and Galadriel, all that was all taken out. And it focused on the Hobbit getting through all of that, getting out the other side of Misty Mountains, going to the Lonely Mountain, and then dealing with Smaug. And he condensed it down to 3 hours into one film. And it was so much better. It's so beautifully designed. It's just badly conceived in some areas, on my opinion anyway. It was lovely to revisit Middle-earth again. It really, really was. And visually, design-wise, of course, it's absolutely stunning. But sadly, it just completely missed the mark for me. It became something that I really didn't want it to be. And I think what was annoying, they were looking at it more as a prequel to The Lord of the Rings. So they wanted to be its own epic. And something that The Hobbit isn't, even though it deals with large themes, it isn't an epic. And it is a prequel to Lord of the Rings because of everything that happens in there. A lot of which was changed by Tolkien himself to fit with Lord of the Rings after he'd written it. But there's no need to say, oh, who is this mysterious being coming out of the darkness? Well, it's Sauron. We know it's Sauron. We've all seen Lord of the Rings. Why are you wasting your time with a mystery that we already know the answer to? So I just didn't. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I get it in one way. It's obviously a money-making thing. They wanted the cinema and the studio wanted to expand it out into 3 movies because they wanted to make money the same way Lord of the Rings did. It's a business decision. I understand that. Sadly, though, artistically and creatively, it was a little bit backwards. So, but I mean, don't get me wrong, and I've said it before and I've said it again. There is a fantastic film in there, as long as you cut out basically 2 films worth of material. So really frustrating. And don't get me started on the Barrel River ride, which was just don't. So another pride of my collection, which will, if I can get it out without anything else collapsing. Oh no, too late. Another part of my collection, which my wife got me, was the Blu-ray Blade Runner edition, and it has got the concept vehicle spinner in there as well. And I'm actually going to get this out because I absolutely bloody love this, and I'm going to show it off because I'm a massive big head when it comes to my when it comes to my collection. I'm trying not to rip the box. This came with postcards, a little book. It came with the DVD with all 5 versions of the film, from theatrical all the way up to final cut, which is. It's a fantastic deal. Really, really good. So let me just get this out so I can give you a close-up. Like I said, the camera doesn't show that much detail, but at least you get a better idea. Be careful, John. Please don't break it. I think this was a Ron Cobb. Was it a Sid Mead design? It's one of the original designs for the spinner anyway. And it's actually, I'm so sorry about the quality of that. It's actually, little wheels moving and everything. It's actually a really good little model, a little bit of interior detail. It's actually a really, really good look. You can see out the floor. I suppose you'd want to when you're landing. So, yeah, it's actually a really, really good model. Really, really pleased with that. It goes really well. Looks great in my collection. Yes, Oliver, it's very nice. So, let me see if we can pack this away. But yeah, I'm a massive, massive Blade Runner fan. And I remember when Blade Runner 2049 was coming out, and I had faith that it was going to be okay because Denis Villeneuve is just a brilliant director. And I'd already seen his films. A huge fan of Sicario, and I really, really enjoyed Arrival. But I was nervous about seeing it because Blade Runner is very, very precious to me as a movie, as a cinema-going experience. Because I remember I saw it a long time after it came out, but I was still quite young, like 14, 15. And of course, I was still heavily into Star Wars. So I was watching, and I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. So Harrison Ford, to me, was a big action hero. So when I first saw it, I couldn't fully understand why Harrison Ford wasn't just punching and shooting his way through stuff. What was all this talking about? Why was everything so dark? And it wasn't until later, again, watching the theatrical release, not any special editions, it wasn't until later I came to appreciate Blade Runner for what it is. It is an art house science fiction film with some amazing writing, incredible performances, and some of the greatest visuals ever put to film. One thing I will say, though, is that I've never considered Blade Runner a cyberpunk film. I think people have taken the aesthetics of Blade Runner and used it in cyberpunk settings, and I get that, I really, really do. But there's nothing about Blade Runner which is even remotely cyberpunk. So when I watch people talking about cyberpunk, one of the references or examples that they use is Blade Runner. I think, well, yeah, visually I get it, dystopian future, corporations, etc. But it's not cyberpunk. That's not anybody fighting against the man. There's not even any cyber stuff in it, except for the guy wearing the mask who lets them into Leon's apartment. So you know what I mean. So I think following shows and movies and all sorts borrowed heavily from the visual cues of Blade Runner, but Blade Runner I don't think it's cyberpunk at all. What else have I got? Oh, I've got a candle. It's called The Tavern, and if I can just see who it's by, happypiranha.com, and it's actually really nice. It does actually smell like tobacco and alcohol, and it's basically a role-playing candle, which you can light, and it's called The Tavern. It's just really nice. Yeah, see you, Oliver. You take care, matey. I'll see you tomorrow night, actually. So yeah, that's all really, really cool. What else have I got? Do you know what? I think I might actually leave it. Oh, no, I won't. Ray Harryhausen. Now, back in about 2 years ago, I went to Edinburgh. Beautiful, beautiful city. Absolutely love the place. And went to the Ray Harryhausen exhibition. Got up close and personal with loads of the models from the Ray Harryhausen movies. So you know, Jason the Argonauts especially, and all sorts. And I picked up a notebook and some postcards of Ray Harry. You can't see it on this. I'm not even going to try. Of Ray Harryhausen's own sketches. I'll just show you the first one there if you can sort of see it. Now, again, Ray Harryhausen, what an amazing artist, able to visualize his own stuff. I'll tell you who else as well, whose other art I've been looking at as recently. I tweeted recently about Sid Mead and Ron Cobb. These are fantastic concept designers. Sid Mead and Ron Cobb are two of my favourite concept designers of all time, because just the draftsmanship is just stunning. It's just amazing. But I'll tell you what, James Cameron's a bloody good artist. Really, really good. And something I've looked, I bought the Alien Vault recently, was the Ridley Grams from Alien. So Ridley Scott's own little artwork. It's absolutely fantastic. That guy's storyboarding is amazing. I wish actually they'd actually release just his Ridley Grams in its own book. I'll be more than happy to have a look at that. A lot of things were very, very similar. I'm talking about Moon. I finally got it on Blu-ray. I do want to get, there's an album out which I really want to get hold of. I think they did, Simon, but I don't ever remember if they did tour it out of. Sorry, Simon Boucher just said it's a real shame they never toured the exhibition, the Ray Harryhausen exhibition outside of Scotland, and I'm sure they did, but I'm not sure I ever saw it advertised anywhere. And the only reason why we went to Edinburgh, because I think that was the last place it was going to get shown, and that's when we found out about it. So we thought we'd make a weekend of it, or a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday out of it, and we travelled up. We got the train up, stayed in Edinburgh for a few days. I just love that place. It's absolutely beautiful, and it was close to Christmas as well, which was quite cool. And yeah, and then went to the exhibition. The exhibition was fantastic. It was small, but then the models were small. Hey, but it had everything, and it had everything that I wanted to see. Jason the Argonauts, especially the Sinbad stuff. Clash of the Titans, of course, the models there were just absolutely stunning. Amazing me how large that Kraken, the Kraken was. Even had First Man in the Moon, had the Selenites and his flying saucers from Earth versus the Flying Saucers. So yeah, I was more than happy. It was a really good exhibition, actually. I hope they do it again, because you learn quite a lot, not just about what he did for movies, but what he did initially. Before he became famous for his movies, and his influences before that. So, of course, as we know, sort of King Kong, The Lost World, and what have you. It was a really good exhibition, extremely informative, and yes, there was just plenty going on. Lots you can't touch the models, of course. They're all hidden behind glass screens. But my favourites, the ones that I really went for, which was Talos, the skeletons, and the Hydra. Oh, and the Harpies, all from Jason the Argonauts. That's what I was most excited to see, and they were all there behind glass cases. And yeah, I've actually got a video. I actually took a video. Actually, I'm gonna have to dig that out. I've got it saved somewhere, and I'll upload it probably so that everyone can appreciate it. So yeah. So I'm going to end on just a couple of things. My tribble's just fallen off. My tribble's gone now. I enjoy collecting novelizations of TV shows and movies. So I've been picking up quite a few recently. So recently I've picked up Outland, Alan Dean Foster, because Alan Dean Foster is a fantastic author, and not only is he a fantastic author, he's the king of the movie tie-ins. One of the reasons why I appreciate Alien 3 more than when I actually saw it was because of what Alan Dean Foster wrote, and he obviously included everything, included the dragon and that sort of stuff. That was grand. I recently found Battlestar Galactica. I ordered it. It's not the cover that I wanted, but I think this is a UK print. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, this is a UK print. That's the original Battlestar Galactica novel. The chances are I'll never read these. But just having them is more than enough. I've also got into the habit of picking up, this one's Time of the Wolf, but I've been picking up all the old Robin of Sherwood books as well. I've been finding those cheap. Can't find a couple of game books, which are still quite expensive, but the novels I've been the novelizations. Yes, I have actually, Simon. I think I've got the Dragon Slayer, or am I lying through my teeth? Hold on just 1 second. I know for a fact. And skaboom, and there we go, Dragon Slayer. I haven't picked up the 4K disc yet. No, that's something I do have to do. I've still got my original DVD, but I do need to pick that up. I picked up Krull because it's Krull. And who's that written by? Oh, Alan Dean Foster. So, yeah, I picked up Krull, of course, because Krull's just, well, it's just great fun. I'd love to see more done with that. And then one of the ones I got recently, because I've been watching it again recently, was Space Above and Beyond. Not the greatest cover. If I'd seen that in a bookstore, I probably wouldn't have picked it up because, yeah. But yeah, really, really good to have that. I'm looking forward to reading that. And amazingly enough, I'm making a massive pile of stuff here, which I'm going to have to put away. I also found this, and I have no idea why I bought this. I bought both of these. It's a Miami Vice novel, and I don't know why. I've just recently, especially, I've had this urge to watch Miami Vice again. I used to enjoy that, and I found a Quantum Leap Prelude novel, which I picked up for 50 pence, which I've yet to read. I probably, well, like I say, I probably won't read it. It'll just sit on my shelf gathering dust, but it's just nice to have it. So yeah. As far as gaming is concerned, I found this the other day, and it's a Star Trek board game, and it's 3 games, Star Trek 3 board game, and it's 3 games, solitaire games in one. And I've not yet had the chance to properly. All the components are there because I've already checked, but I've not yet had the chance to sit down and go through it and to actually play any of the games. But I mean, that's cool. I mean, I was really looking to find that. That only cost me £10, and it's complete. So I was really happy with that. And then again, cost me £10. Was this Steve Jackson Games Ogre with all the tiny with the fold out map and all the tiny little cardboard cut out punched out counters. Well, I'm trying to get my head in the way there, trying to hide myself. Absolutely complete, and it's excuse me, and it's little plastic casing. That's really cool. Again, that was only a tenner. And I think and I've got a pair of elven ears as well. I've no idea why I've got them. So yeah. So I think that's not bad at all. Brilliant. I've got other stuff as well. Most of my stuff is actually packed away in my garage. So I've got loads of the models, action figures, and all kinds of stuff. But it's just having space. As you can see, I share this office with my wife. She works from home, and so I've got this little nook. So, but I like being surrounded by stuff. I like being surrounded by my books and stuff that I love. And I kind of like that controlled chaos. I would love to have proper shelving and everything's put up where it's supposed to be. But right now, everything's just dumped in different places. And I kind of like that. I like that controlled. I like that kind of chaos. It kind of suits my brain. My brain's not exactly ordered in any way or form. So it's actually quite nice just to... And my brain knows where certain things are. So if I'm looking for a book or whatever, I'll just look over and goes, oh, there it is. I'll just grab that. So yeah, I just like it. So there you have it. And I think I'm going to call it quits there. So like I said, it was only going to be for 10 minutes. These little live streams are just going to be small and stupid. It's got its own little playlist of its own on my channel. And so that's basically it. So I'm going to end the stream there. And I'm going to say thank you very much for everybody who came along and just popped the heads in and said hello and left a quick message. Thanks, Simon. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing them because, like I said earlier, I suffer from ADHD a little bit and anxiety, especially. I have really bad anxiety, but I'm finding just doing this is helping me control it a little bit more. Because I'm kind of plunging myself in at the deep end. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but I'm kind of plunging myself at the deep end and just basically trying to convince. Well, I'm not trying to convince myself. I'm trying to tell myself, just stop stressing about it. Just get on with it. I mean, at the end of the day, if I need to promote Farsight Games, I need to promote what it is I'm writing, whatever it is I'm working on. This is the sort of stuff I've got to do. I've got to make myself available. No point in me hiding myself away and just writing stuff and then dumping it out in the open and just hoping that people just pick it up and go, oh, that's good. Can't rely on word of mouth, unfortunately. Part of being a small publisher is that, especially a lone small publisher, is that I've got to do all the work myself. So I'm designing the games, I'm writing the games, I'm laying out the games, I'm sourcing the artwork, even doing some of the artwork myself. And then all the promotions got to be done by myself as well. So I can't just write stuff and then just hope people find it. I've got to push it and put it out there. So I just need to get used to that, and I just need to cope. I need to deal with it, and as best as I can. And doing this, making these videos, is getting me into that sort of. It's sort of getting me used to that process, sort of getting me into that frame of mind. And it's and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having the chance just to brain fart and just to let my thoughts just stream out, and streams of consciousness. If I sit down and write about it, I'll overthink it. If I sit down and write about what I want to talk about, I will literally overthink it, and I'll do 1,000 words. I'll probably use 20 of them, and then I'll start going off into tangents like I do when I'm doing stream of consciousness anyway, and then I'll get self-conscious about it, and then I'll overthink what it is that I'm about to make a video about, and then I'll just not make it, and just simply won't do it. Whereas this way, I'm being a little bit impulsive, probably compulsive, to be honest with you, and just chucking myself out and just hoping for the best. Throwing crap at the wall and seeing what sticks. Oh, Christ, that's a terrible analogy. So I'll just show you one more thing before I go, actually. I'm going to take off, and then I'll give you a very quick update. This is where I keep my dice, in a goldfish bowl. Hooray! That's there, people, is 40 years worth of collected dice. I understand that everybody probably has more dice than I do. I don't care. I've got these dice, and they're in a fish bowl. Beat that. So, so there you have it. So, what we're working on at the moment, just to Simon, your content is always positive, and it's always interesting listening to your thoughts on design, etc. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I try to stay positive. I don't want to generate. I don't want to be outrageous for outrageous sake. I don't want to generate content because I'm mad about something or angry about something. Yeah, I can have a negative opinion on certain things. Everyone can have a negative opinion. Just an opinion doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm angry about it. It's just that when I was talking about The Hobbit earlier. Yeah, I was a little bit negative on it. There are certain aspects of it that I don't like. But on the plus side, I took something positive from that, is that I know that there's a good film in there, and I can watch those parts of the film and still enjoy them. At the end of the day, I moaned about The Hobbit. I've still got them all on Blu-ray. So, I moaned about the Star Wars saga. I've still got them all on DVD. So, you know what I mean? Because I do like to revisit them and go back and watch them and think, do you know what, actually, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. And so I pick out those little moments that make me happy. Because I found that if I just hang on to and what's negative about something, well, where's the fun in that? It must be exhausting being negative all the time. I mean, fair dues, it can be exhausting being positive, but I'm not trying to force the positivity. It's just the way I am. It's just the way I feel about certain stuff. And if I don't like something, I've got this really uncanny knack, and I don't know where it comes from. I've got this really uncanny knack of not talking about it and then moving on. So, and not making it part of my identity or part of part of who I am, part of my personality. I find a lot of people who get negative about stuff for entertainment value, so that they can turn around and say negative things about something, but do it in an entertaining way. So it's not about what they're talking about; it's about them as a person. And when that happens, I just switch off. It's like, it's not about what you're reviewing, mate. It's about you, and I'm not interested. So, and negativity, I know that negativity and outrage generates clicks and generates attention, and that's great, good for you if that's the way that you want to go. But oh God, oh my Lord, no! I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't do that. So did I just go off on a rant? I'll tell you why, because I've just drank a Japanese highball, which is like whiskey and soda. It's really, really nice, and that helps loosen things up a little bit. So, yeah, Simon, you're correct. Criticism is fine as long as it's constructive, as long as you're not being personal. And unfortunately, a lot of reviewers can be personal. I see that in movies, especially. They can be very personal. A lot of they've taken some sort of personal affront as to what's being created for something they didn't need to watch. I get it. You want to be negative about something, yeah, like you say, can be constructive about it. Say, I didn't like this. I didn't like this because you don't come out with some sort of quip or kind of personal insult just to get your point across. I think that's, well, not only is it rude, it just doesn't mean anything, because people aren't going to think about what you don't like about the film. You know what I mean? They're not going to think about that at all. They're just going to think about how much of a knob you are. And yeah, I like to avoid that if at all possible. So what's coming up anyway? So yeah, I'll be doing more videos. I don't know what about yet. I've actually made a list of stuff that I want to talk about, but I'll probably change my mind probably in the next 10 seconds, to be honest. Also, Deep Space. I'm going to pitch Deep Space out, the role-playing game. I talked about this on a video a while ago. That's the black and white printout of it. I talked about it on a video about a while ago when I introduced the game. I want to find a proper publisher, because Farsight Games as a label is a lot of fun, and I am enjoying it doing small games. But I'm in absolutely no position to do a full-size, like 128-page book with full artwork. I don't have the time. I don't have the funds, to be honest with you. I do try my best to do what I can with what I've got. But I love Deep Space. I like the system. I like the way it works. I like the simplicity of it. And I would love to see it do better. And I think the only way that's going to happen is if I find a bigger publisher than me, who's got like worldwide influence, who's got, everybody knows the name, not Cheers. Like everybody knows the name. They do publish materials. They can get stuff out there. We basically have got a better reach than Farsight Games. So that's what I'm looking for next. So what I'm thinking about doing, I know I love Deep Space for its simplicity, but there's absolutely nothing stopping me from stretching it out a little bit more, adding a little bit more depth, making it a little bit more new player friendly, including the full background, and having a bit of fun with that. So that's probably going to be one of my upcoming projects. I have finished. I'm also doing other commissions for the publishers. I've finished one, which I'm really hoping we're going to hear about in the next month or so, which I'm really excited about. And I can guarantee when you hear about it, my head's going to explode. And I'm actually working on a project at the moment which I need to get finished. Because I've actually got halfway through the design process and realised the system I designed wasn't as simple as I wanted it to be. So I'm actually reverting back to a system that I've already designed. I'm just adapting it around that. I've just finished doing a little bit of playtesting. Everything works absolutely fine. I've just got to get the damn thing written now. And I've also got another project coming up. This is a fantasy project, which I don't want to go into too much detail. But there's an author out there who wrote a fantastic book, and I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it yet. I don't want to jump the gun, but we're going to be working on that together. And then later on in the year, I've actually been speaking to other. I tell you what, there's no point in me talking about this because I can't actually tell you what it is that I'm working on. So I'm kind of been a bit of a knob. Let's face it. Just go, oh, I'm working on this, wink, wink, but I can't talk about it. Well, then don't talk about it, then, John, you absolute twat. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, I think. So yeah, so there we go. I'm going to end the stream now. I want to say good night to everybody. Thank you very much for coming along. I will give better notice for the next live stream. But to be honest with you, I kind of like just diving in and just doing these. It's so brilliant. Hello, Big G. Jason, is that you? Before I go, let me just double checking. Jason, is that you? I'm just waiting for him to reply. I don't know how long it takes for replies to come through, but I've just seen the name, and I'm sure I've seen it used somewhere before. And if that's who I think it is, I've not spoken to this dude in about 6 years, and we used to game together all the time. Every Tuesday or Thursday round at his flat. Massive Dungeons and Dragons fan. In fact, if you are who I think you are, you were my first Dungeon Master back in 1984, Jace. In room 1A at Netherstowe Comprehensive School. It is as well. Hi, Jason. I'm doing really well, mate. I hope you're doing really well. I'm so sorry we dropped out of contact, dude. We need to get in touch again, need to catch up. And yeah, I'll pass on your hi to Lisa. Yeah, Jason was my very first Dungeon Master. I created a character called Jam Donut. He was a thief. Yeah, I know. And yeah, so that was 1984. It was April 1984, and I can't remember what the adventure was called. I'm sure Jason remembers. I can't remember what the adventure was called, but my very first ever. I mean, I've been playing Fighting Fantasy for about a year before this, and then this was the red box. I think it was the Fragments of Dungeons and Dragons, with the red box with the Larry Airmore cover. Basic Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, absolutely brilliant. And we were at a pool, and I think we were going to. It was a healing pool. I can't quite remember, but we were attacked by skeletons. And my very first kill was a skeleton. And it was like, and that's burned into my mind, thinking I was going to die because I was down to like 2 hit points, and I got in a lucky strike, and the skeleton went down in a pile of bones. And I think Jason's actual words were, "You re-killed him." So that's okay. Proud of what you're doing. Sorry to let you down in the artwork, mate. You've not let me down at all, mate. You're still a fantastic artist, and yeah, I've still got the. When I originally started designing those dark places, I was going to do it independently. So I've got overexcited now. I need a drink. I was going to release it independently, and before I ended up taking it to a publisher. And I asked Jason to do a couple of bits of artwork for me. He drew a spaceship, and he drew a guy with a welding torch. Now, Jason is a fantastic artist, absolutely fantastic, really, really good. His pen and ink stuff is absolutely outstanding. And a lot of the stuff that he does is a lot of concept artwork. And I think me and Jason got to know each other at school a little bit because he had the Book of Alien by Paul Scanlon, I think it was. I've got my version of it, my copy of it up there. And a lot of the stuff that he was doing was reminded me of what was in the book. So I love concept art. So the sort of art that he was doing felt like concept art. And a lot of the stuff that he was doing was absolutely fantastic. And if I remember rightly, he drew something like the alien. It's like a big head. And I actually built a model out of it. I was 16 years old and actually built a model out of it out of blue tack. And yeah, I wireframed it and everything. Took that into school. Unfortunately, they got smashed to bits because kids can be cruel. And so yeah, Jason, mate, we'll definitely need to catch up. Well, you can contact me through YouTube now. You can message me through YouTube. So you've got no excuse, and I've got no excuse either. So that's absolutely fantastic. It's put a massive smile on my face now. I'm so happy. Such a nice guy. I can't wait to speak to him again. Okay, brilliant. It's a good game. I need you to autograph my copy, mate. I'll be more than happy. I'll autograph it for you when we meet again in 9 years. Yeah, when I was really doing those dark places, yeah, Jason, I was going to get Jason to do the artwork. But then, of course, things change. Real life takes over. People go off in different directions. And then I fell in with Osprey Games. And then Nathan Anderson did the artwork. But Jason's stuff, Nathan Anderson did great artwork, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But Jason's stuff, yeah, it'll always be close to my heart, Jason, that he did those 2 sketches for me. In fact, I've still got the sketches. I've still got them on my system. I've actually got them saved in the Those Dark Places folder. So what I might do is write a Those Dark Places or a New Pressure adventure and actually use those bits of art in it, if you don't mind. And then, yeah, we'll sort that out. Absolutely fantastic. That's really made my night, that. I'm glad I came on now. So there we go. So that's my life lesson, my TTRPG life lesson for you. Do a live stream, and you never know who's going to fall into your lap. And absolutely brilliant. So anyway, I'm going to say goodnight now, because I said I was going to be on here for half an hour, and I've been on here for 50 minutes and 30 seconds. And I never quite know how to end these streams, because I'll click something, and then something else will come up, and then I'll have to click it again. So I'm just going to say, ta-ra. Ta-ra.